All right, it's recording.
Hey, you guys. Welcome to week 6. Is that right? Is that what week we're in?
Yes.
I think so. Thanks for coming back after the tough love we gave you last week. That's good. I'm excited for, I have a special friend presenting tonight, and you know her as Blue Cottage Mommy, probably. I know her as my friend Dani, and she's amazing, and she's a superstar director. She is the queen of social media and branding, and she's a top incentive trip earner. She is an annual award monster. She kills it every year. She's just incredible in pretty much every aspect of her business, which she pretty much does on social media. So thank you, Dani, for sharing with us tonight a few of your little tips, tricks, and secrets. Will you make sure that you mention your TikTok wax thing? You're changing the waxing, because that's like my favorite. And I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hey guys, so my name is Dani. I'm not nearly as cool as Karen just made me out to be, but I'll try. Oh goodness, social media. So I knew coming in to Scentsy that I was going to utilize social media as my main platform. It's what I was comfortable with in the business I did prior to Scentsy, so I was able to kind of just carry that over. And I know that when sorry, my kiddos are in the bath, you guys. So when I had very first started Scentsy, it was kind of culture shock-ish for me, just because sorry, let me yell at my kids. Hey, guys, shh. So when I came to Scentsy, it was a little bit of a culture shock because, you know, a lot of people did the home parties and things like that. And I have done a couple home parties. I think I've done like 3 since I've started. And don't get me wrong, like they're great and I enjoyed them. And I still offer them to those willing. It's just the vast majority of my customer base is kind of all over the country. So doing things on social media is easier for me. So I do like Facebook parties. I also started mixing in like in the mail pouch parties that they get to keep. So different things. So just ways to bridge the gap between doing your business in person, like a home party, and doing your social media stuff where they can talk and smell and do all the things. So anyway, Facebook's my main platform. My suggestion would be for you to pick a platform and go for that. You don't have to be a master of all the things. You don't have to know how to do all the ins and outs of Pinterest and all the ins and outs of Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all the other Snapchat, Twitter, whatever. So just pick one and do it. And then you can slowly start to integrate more once you become comfortable. The thing with social media is it's constantly changing too, just like our businesses. So, you know, now Facebook does more of the stories and there's, you know, different things that you just kind of learn. And I'll have people message me, well, how do you do stories? How do you do that? And it's just basically trial and error, you guys. I had no idea what a story was until I saw, you know, some of my Scentsy leader friends doing the stories, and I just kind of stumbled my way through it, which is basically how I do my entire business. Which is probably not what y'all want to hear. But guys, there's not going to be any better teacher than just you stumbling through things and trying it. So don't be afraid to try new things, because you're going to be a lot braver than the person that's sitting back and not trying the new things. So the biggest thing with any part of your business, especially social media, is just be consistent and show up. You know, we all hear things like Facebook algorithms or social media algorithms and things like that, and I can tell you that they change all the time, and it's hard to stay on top of them. But what really hurts your algorithms the most is not showing up. So if you go extended periods of time without posting or interacting or doing the things, that's what's going to put your algorithm and things way down. So just make sure that whatever you're doing it consistently and you're showing up. One of my biggest things is to make sure that when people come to my social media, that they aren't seeing any garbage. And I'm talking like political garbage, negativity, whining, things like, well, I hope life pans out for me and blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares to see that. No one cares to see your family drama. That's what your mama and your hubby is for. That's, take that to them. Don't air it on social media. And so when people come to me or come to my social media profile, I want them to be inspired or laugh or learn something new, things like that, not be more blah in their news feed, because there's plenty of that going on, especially right now with all the COVID and political stuff. It's a mess. So they don't need it from you. Make sure that as you start to create your branding, and I use branding loosely because you don't have to have a logo or a color scheme or a Ziggy animated character, whatever. You don't have to do all that. Your branding is how people feel about you and what they think of when they think of you and things like that. So like people know right off the bat, I'm a Target person. I love Disney. There's things that people see and they go, oh, that reminds me of Dani. And it's not just Scentsy. And that's the point. You don't want to just remind them of Scentsy, because then they're going to tune you out. If your profile looks like an infomercial, you're doing it wrong. So you've got to attract people to you as a person, not just as a Scentsy consultant, because that's where the relationships are built, right? So imagine having a one-on-one conversation with them and all they're doing is yapping about Scentsy, all the things about Scentsy. And while I'm sure, even if they love Scentsy, they're going to get bored after a while, right? So they need to be invested in you in other reasons. Do they relate to you on a mom level, on a sports level? Whatever it is that they can make those connections with you. And sometimes it's things that you're embarrassed of. Sometimes it's things that you feel insecure about. So for example, one of my friends, Brittany Lucas, she's very open about struggles that she goes through with like mental health, depression, things like that. And she has reached and made so many connections with people that struggle with the same thing. And she kind of takes the taboo out of it, because not a ton of people talk about it. And it makes people feel as though they can have connections with someone that goes through the same thing that they do. I highly always encourage people to be authentic. First of all, for authenticity, you want people to connect with you, not with some made up version of you, because they'll find out. Believe me, they'll find out. We all know those people that we kind of build up in our heads and then we meet them in person at a convention and we're like, oh, okay, that's not at all what I thought she was. You know what I mean? So be authentic, be the same person on social media and off social media. So whatever you do, just do it authentically. But don't be afraid to go live and post pictures and do all of the things, because again, those are the things that make connections with your audience or the people that follow you, things like that. So if you go live and your house is a mess, things are going crazy, so many people are able to look at all the chaos going around and go, oh, my house looks just like that. You know what I mean? And it makes them feel better about themselves because they can relate to you on that. They can relate, oh, well, my house is a mess. They see all the toys. So they're able to make those relations and connections with you. So perfection is not relatable. Nobody looks at a Kardashian sister and thinks like that's goals. I mean, so perfection is just not really. Don't feel everything has to be just so in order for you to make an impact. Hold on, my kiddos. Yes, guys. Okay, hold on. So perfection is not relatable, and realize, guys, that your business, utilizing social media for your business does not mean just posting, right? You have to interact, you have to connect, you have to comment, you have to give. Don't expect to make a post like, oh, join my team, or which I hope you guys never use that phrase. Or you can't just say, I've got a discount kit up for grabs. Who wants it? And expect that if nobody comments that, well, nobody was interested. Cover your bases by posting, right? But then make sure you're doing the legwork and messaging one-on-one. That one-on-one communication still has to be there. Social media is a tool. It's not the end all be all and all the things. It's a great way for you to get connected with people you would normally connect with, but it's not going to be your end all be all. Don't think that you make a post about something and that's it. That's not how it works, you guys. And then again, as you get more comfortable with the platform, you can start integrating more. So for example, I was never an Instagrammer, and I still am not an Instagrammer by any means. But the great thing about Instagram being owned by Facebook is I can post to Instagram and it immediately posts that thing to my Facebook. So I've got both things covered. The Insta stories are a little bit more fun than the Facebook stories. So, and again, if you post on the Insta stories, it will share to the faces. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone, you know what I mean? So another thing that Karen mentioned was TikTok. Now, I'm going to preface this and say that if you are new to using social media as a business platform, don't start at TikTok. Don't start it there because it's not going to be your primary source. It's something fun that you can use and utilize. So typically, I like making videos on TikTok and then sharing them to like my Instagram and my Facebook. But one of the things I did was I created a video on changing your wax using the cotton cleanups. And it's got like well over 200,000 views on TikTok and tons of comments, tons of likes. So it just kind of went, you know, a little bit viral on there. And it's just something as easy as, you know, changing your wax and so simple. And a lot of people are like, I didn't know that. And it opens up those conversations. I recruited in May, I recruited 2 people off of TikTok by doing a little video about the May join special. So again, they're tools, right? And I still had to do that legwork, message and build those relationships, etc. What else would I like to? Is there any particular questions that I'm missing?
So far, no questions. I do have a question that's come up with some of my downline. Business account or personal account? What is your opinion on that?
So between business and personal, I do personal. If you look at algorithms, and again, I am not a social, I'm not a page, so I'm no Julie Sue, I'll say that. So my personal opinion is if you were to look at Facebook algorithms and do anything, Facebook's going to prioritize profiles first, then groups, then business pages last. So do I recommend having a business page? Sure, you could in case anyone looks you up. It's there, it's got your info in it. Maybe, I know like Laura Godwin has hers and she shares from hers quite frequently. Personally, I don't have a business page. And if you were to come to me and say, well, should I do a business page or a VIP group? I would suggest the VIP group. But to be honest, I don't have one of those either. So if you find, and just because I don't have one doesn't mean that they can't be successful. I know many people with very successful VIP groups, and they do different things in there that's more, it's more where they offer like sooner sneak peeks or, you know, different fun little tight-knit things that they offer in there, and that's great. If you have stuff that's going to make it worthwhile for you to have a VIP group, by all means. But for me, I am more of a share Scentsy as it's integrated into my life, and it's been very beneficial for me thus far. We're very, very blessed to be selling and representing products that you use in everyday life. Laundry products, cleaning products, kids products, literally everything that we sell, people use multiple times a day. I mean, I think I counted one day how many Scentsy products I used in a day, and it was like well over 20. So between body spray, body wash, like all the things, if you think what you use throughout the day, it's so easy to share. And if you can do it in a great way, and it doesn't have to be like, here's counter clean, go buy this on my website. If you guys follow like Maggie Hensley, she's so great at doing like her Facebook stories, and she's walking around the house cleaning and changing her wax and spraying the Scentsy Fresh, and Chloe Cox, I know, every morning sprays her Scentsy Fresh, and like all the things, and you can show and integrate that as a, this is my routine, and they don't even say like, look at the Scentsy Fresh, it's just, it happens to be there. So it's kind of this attraction marketing thing that they create this window into their lives, and people go, ooh, I want my life to look like that. What is that? What is she using in order for my life to look like that?
So there was a question that came up about, oh, let me go back up a minute. Dun, dun, dun. Jean's asking, I thought Facebook discouraged us from selling on our personal pages. And I think you pretty well touched on that it's really not selling, it's sharing, it's integrating how it's being used in your business. I mean, in your everyday life. So there's a difference. So sharing flyers, that's not selling. That's selling, and that's not, Facebook is discouraging that, right? Is there anything you need to add on that?
I mean, the great thing about the Scentsy culture is that so many people are willing to share. So if you don't have a personal photo of a warmer or a product or something, somebody out there does, and I guarantee you, either A, they've already shared it to where you are welcome to it, or you are welcome to message them and say, hey, would you mind if I use your photo? It is very, very few and far between that I've ever come across someone that has been like, don't use my stuff. I know personally, I took a whole bunch of fall product photos and shared them in the What Did You Share, for anyone to share with their teams to use, because I know, especially as newer consultants, you don't have the money or the means to get all these products in the beginning or all at one time. And so it's helpful when you've got people that are willing to take awesome staged photos that you can share, so that you're not sharing salesy, spammy, flyer looking things. Don't ever share flyers. And I mean, Scentsy takes gorgeous marketing photos for us as well, but I would still encourage you to find a real life photo of something versus a staged photo, because people, they want to see it in their home. They want to picture it. They want to see how you would style that. And it's one of those things, like, how often do we see like an ad for Wish and go, okay, yeah, like it really looks like that in person. You know what I mean? But when you can see someone's, real life photo that's gorgeous, it kind of makes them go, oh, okay, well, it is really beautiful. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Yes, exactly. And then Brigitte is saying, when you post in your stories on Facebook or Instagram, do you personally message every person who likes it?
Not every person that likes it, but I will say, one of the things I love about like Insta stories and Facebook stories and things is it shows you how many views you've had. So I think a lot of people get caught up in, well, I made a post on my newsfeed and I didn't get any comments. I've only gotten a couple likes, and it's lost on people that even though the reaction wasn't what they were hoping it would be, it was still seen. You know what I mean? Like, how often do you drive down the road and see the same billboard? Do you react every time you see it? Like, oh my God, those dentures are amazing. Why, yes, I need a vasectomy. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that like you don't react to at the time, or maybe you're just scrolling real quick while you're on the potty. I don't know, but it's still seen. It's still there. That's why you still show up consistently. But the cool thing about the stories is it actually will show you, well, 202 people viewed your story before it disappeared, which I think kind of reinforces okay, it's being seen. People are seeing that. And the great thing about the stories too is you can add little polls where people can interact. So you can say, what would you like? The rose gold or the why are you blushing? Or you can even add a DM me button. Like if you're talking about a particular product, or if you're talking about, a hostess gift or whatever, like, you can put the DM button and it says like, I want more info, and you can customize that to say, so people can react if they want to. A lot lot of reasons why I don't message people that like a story or whatever, is because a lot of them end up being Scentsy consultants. So I'll put the reaction in there, and if they react, obviously I will, like if they vote my poll or DM me or whatever, obviously I would respond to that. But just a like, no.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and then I think
Kelly,
that was it. Oh,
there
go ahead.
was one up further. Jill asked, when doing Facebook parties, do you use events or groups?
Events. I like events. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever preference you have. I know some people like groups because if you are able to flip the hostess, you can turn that group into a VIP group for them if they wanted. So, I mean, there's benefits to it. Personally, I feel like events or groups kind of got a bad rap with things like other companies that would shove you into groups when they didn't ask you, you know what I mean? And so many people were so tired of being part of groups. The other thing is people can unfollow groups. So there's things about groups I don't personally care for. So I do events. They have the choice of accepting to attend the event or whatever. And it gives them the little notification that says, hey, your event's tonight, whatever. So I personally prefer the events. But again, it's just a personal preference.
Sorry, real life, my kid is talking to me at the same time. Okay, is there any other questions? This is such great information. And I love your take on on groups or events, because I've done groups and I've gone back and forth. And, do they get notifications on events like they do groups? Because they get it more on events than they do groups, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In a group, they have to turn, it's better if you can get them to turn on the notifications in a group. Otherwise, they're not going to be seeing those things. So.
Yeah, and see, for me, that's just one more step that you're putting, that's more control you're handing over to the customer, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Okay. So Michaela has a good point too. And I think this is actually another reason why I moved to groups, is that you can't schedule a post on events like you can groups, right? Or has that changed?
I believe that's still correct. But I do live events. So I do 30-minute live events. And I'm not one to inundate them with just random posts. So it's not, all this stuff. I want it to be, whatever I'm sharing with them, I want it to be quality, and not quantity. So again, I'm really heavily hostess coaching and making sure that my hostess is engaged in talking to her people and all the things. And then when I go live, I'm able to talk to them that way. I also send everyone that says going or maybe a friend request, so that even though they don't buy in the party now, maybe now I'm in their newsfeed, and now they have to like me. So they're going to see me all the time and kind of start building that relationship with me.
Awesome. Okay. And the last question, because I know your poor kids are in the bath, probably getting all pruny by now. What is your best trick for getting people to host Facebook parties for you, is the last question on here.
Honestly, asking one-on-one. There's no replacement for one-on-one communication. If I'm wanting anything from anybody, it's one-on-one communication. Again, cover your bases by posting, in case you do get the one straggler that says, oh, hey, me over here. But for the most part, it's going to be one-on-one communication where you ask someone. So a lot of times I'll ask, like when I'm doing my Amy follow-ups, like, hey, it's your favorite Scentsy mommy. How are you loving your stuff? Oh, it's great. Hey, by the way, we just launched a new catalog. I know you and your friends are probably going to need some new fall, and would you be interested in hosting a really quick and fun 30-minute live Facebook event? Or I can pop you in a little pouch party you get to keep in the mail. Super easy, just share it with your friends, you know. So asking casually, and the big thing is to make sure that they feel as though you're unattached no matter what they say. If they say yes, awesome. If they say no, no big deal. Because that's when you pressure people so heavily, or when they feel like you're going to get mad at them, or they're going to let you down, that's where it gets awkward, and that relationship starts to falter. So you want them to be able to feel okay with telling you no if that's what they want to do. Because if they tell you yes when they really wanted to tell you no, they're going to be a sucky hostess and waste your time anyway.
So true. I love that. And it's a relationship business. So that's really all it's about. So I'm so grateful, Dani, that you spoke to our Ignite group, and I appreciate your time and your poor kids that have sacrificed too. And I think Karen had to go get Luke some pizza. But I know she was very grateful that you were able to.
I'm back.
Oh, she's back.
I'm back. Do you guys love the beautiful hospital roof?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a gorgeous view. Oh,
I'm eating that pizza too.
Whatever you do in social media or any part of your business, just remember that whatever you're doing, you want someone to look at it and go, oh, I could do that. You know what I mean? So like when you see all these people that are rocking out social media or doing this and that, it can seem intimidating when you see people that are so good at it. And not saying to not get better at what you do, but sometimes being too good can also be hurtful to you, because you want anyone to look at that and go, oh, I could do that. You know, that doesn't look that hard. She's got stuff going on. I've got stuff going on, and she's able to make this work. So don't feel as though you can't, because it's not perfection.
Excellent. We're getting a lot of thank you. Thanks for sharing. It was great information. So we appreciate it. Okay, so guys, this week, your homework, your challenge for the week is we will be posting a attraction marketing worksheet that we want you guys to work on and to get with your accountability partners. That will be coming
tonight
or tomorrow.
I'm not allowed to sleep tonight because my snoring will keep Luke awake and make him angry. So sometime between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. it will be posted.
All right. So anyway, so we want you to, the main thing is you've got to be in touch with your accountability partners, just like we talked about last week. That is so important, the connections you're building. If by day 2 you have not been in touch with your accountability partner, please let us know. The one that brought you to this group, the one that invited you to this group, let us know, because we don't want to wait until all the way next week when you say, well, I didn't get a hold of them. That's too late. So if in 2 days by Thursday you have not heard from them, let us know. And both of you guys reach out. Don't wait for the other one to reach out. Make sure you're continuing on your habit tracker. We'll fill out this attraction marketing worksheet. We'll share some other ideas on the units for this week. And we hope you have a wonderful week. Does anybody else want to say anything?
It was great.
All right.
Great. Thank you.
Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you.
Dani.
Thanks, Dani.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.